Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks, and somebody sent me this snowflake and asked me a couple of questions on how you would clean up that and that, where it's, kind of grown into its parts. Well, I wouldn't. I would pick the best of the best. I think this is still grouped together, so we're going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. That necessarily doesn't mean it's the center because the fact that it's not a perfect object, but we're going to bring it indexing lines and hit P, and it's pretty close. So then what I would do, I would move this indexing line out of the way for a minute so it won't interfere. Like this is bad, this is good, this is good. So there's really just 4 parts that are duplicated. And it depends on how precise you want to be. Let's see how big this thing is. It's 8 inches. Let's set our nudge factor on 10. And let's take the Smart Fill tool. Doesn't really matter, set on blue. And just make those 4 parts. Now we can nudge this guy down. And we can nudge this back. Because now we know that the center is going to be right there. Now, whether you're going to clean this up or not is preference on what you think it needs to look like. I personally think it looks pretty good. You could change it up a little bit. Doesn't really need anything. I kind of like it. And we'll take the shape tool and maybe we'll just make it a little bit different just to show you that you can. Round off some corners, maybe take away this node and see what happens. And you can see that it's not symmetrical. And that's a pretty good thing, really. Just trying to delete some nodes we might not need. And I went too far. So anyway, and then group this together. Control G. Control D and make a duplicate and move that to the center. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we need to rotate it by 60 degrees. We've already got a rotation there. Control D, 120. Corel does that sometime. And that came out rather well. Now, how you would make it a snowflake was our next question. We can take away the indexing lines. We'll go ahead and take an ellipse, push P and put it in the center of the page. We will take it and hold down the shift key and have it grow from the center. We'll go ahead and make it a hairline in red. The other ones aren't either. So we could just select everything and go up to your pen tool and make them a hairline. Now everything should be a hairline and in red. Now, I've made several videos on how to make an outline of something like this. It's really easy. They're still ungrouped, so the boundary tool is going to work. Doesn't make much sense. You could actually probably do this with a contour tool, but I like getting that out of the way. And then go to Effects and Contour. Let's contour to the outside with rounded corners, 0.2 of an inch. Well, that came out good. Let's get rid of that window. And let's go to Object and break the contour apart. And then take this outside line. And let's nudge it over twice. We have some inner parts. Go up to Object, break the curve apart. Now just grab the outside again and put it back. Here's our parts we don't need, so make sure you delete them. Take the contour and make it, I'm using their file and I draw everything in hairline. And you can make it red. So now it's a red hairline. Now, with that said, in this particular case, you wouldn't probably need an eyelet. Let's rotate it. Here's what I would do. And I always do it. I take the Smart Fill tool and I fill it with blue or whatever color is in your Smart Fill tool. That seals everything. It makes everything one piece. As you can see, you know, these are still different pieces, and even the outline's different. And then just delete that. What is so neat about this, I don't think this particular one needs an eyelet. If you remember, we could rotate it. Sometimes when you double click and you're not on the axis, it'll do that. You know, rotate it like that. You wouldn't have to do that to cut it out, but there's your eyelet. You could just put your ribbon or whatever you're going to put on the Christmas tree. If it's for a Christmas tree, it is a pretty neat snowflake, you know, especially when you fill it in and really see what it looks like. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. So and just real quick, a lot of times when you have something like that that's messed up, just take the parts that are good and utilize them. I actually kind of like that one maybe better, but I picked these 4. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.